Welcome. The props I recommend using for this sequence are a towel or a blanket. Welcome. My name is Willa, and we'll just start seated. So just take a moment to find your comfortable seat. You can cross your legs or kneel. You can close your eyes if you'd like to, or just lower and soften your gaze. And starting with your sits bones, rooting down, and your seat is probably somewhere between your cat and your couch. So just trying to find some neutrality in your spine. Sinking down through the sits bones so you can rise up from there. And then just going through, seeing if there's anything you can soften. You can soften your eyes, your jaw, your belly. And just taking your time to make that shift towards observing and unknowing, so we can listen better to the body, the mind, the heart in a more open way. And let's take a few breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. A couple more. Last one. Go ahead, bring your palms together in front of your heart. You can take a moment to think about your intention, what's bringing you here to your mat. Inhale, gently lift your head. Exhale, bow. Go ahead and make your way onto your back. So just get the soles of your feet together, knees open, and lie down on your mat. So finding a Supta Baddha Konasana, a little more intense, feet towards your body, a little less intense. You can scoot your feet away. You can start with hands on your belly. You can feel what's going on. Just continuing to establish that connection to your own breath. Filling up into your belly, into the back of your body. And take one more breath. And you bring your knees together and then hug in your right knee towards your chest. Just being gentle, ground through the back of the body. Then take your left hand to your left hip bone to help ground it. Start to take your right knee open. You think about externally rotating from your hips, turning your toes away from each other. Maybe using that engagement of your pelvic floor to help keep you here. And then gently guide your shin across your body, closing your hip, rolling onto your left side, maybe looking over your right shoulder for a twist. Just trying to breathe. And roll back onto your back, and then just switch legs. So hug your right knee in towards your chest. Grounding into all those points of contact between you and the floor. Trying to release any tension out of those unnecessary spots, your jaw, your neck, your face. Maybe give your feet some love, rolling out your ankles, curling your toes. Then bring your right hand to your right hip bone to help ground it. Gently start to take your left knee open. Not forcing it. And gently guide your knee across your body, rolling onto your right side. Maybe bring your left arm out to the side, come into a twist. And make your way back onto your back. And find your way up to a seat. So do a little wide-legged thing. Just take your legs wide, right? You might need to scoot your butt back so you can get right on top of your sits bones. Sitting up as tall as you can. And then just do a little shifting side to side. So you're kind of picking up one sits bone at a time. Keep grounding through your heels. Keep breathing. And come back to center. You can bring your hands behind you and just go for a back bend. So lift for your tailbone, lift for your chest. Arch your back, breathe. And come forward. So bringing your hands out in front, maybe rounding. It might be nice to take your hands on the inside of your legs. So keep grounding through your heels and then just try to let those big muscles in your back, neck, let go a bit. And slowly make your way up. You can bring your feet together and come onto hands and knees. Just get yourself lined up. Wrists under your shoulders, knees under hips. Starting with grounding. So pressing down with that response back up into the low belly. And we'll start to move. Then inhale, tuck your tailbone, draw your guts up toward your spine. Cat. Exhaling, lifting your tailbone, soften your belly, lift your heart. Cow. Just keep moving on your own. Seeing if you can get the movement to roll from one end to the other. And come back to your neutral spine. Take your left arm behind your right arm and reach. So coming into a twist, you can hover your fingers a bit, hinge in your hips. You got a little core engagement still. And press down to come up. So back through hands and knees, and then take your right hand behind your left arm. Reaching, hovering your hand, hinging your hips. Breathing. Just checking out the mobility in your thoracic spine where your rib cage attaches. And just take your time doing each side one more time. And come back to hands and knees. Get your knees wide, so toes towards each other. Shift your hips back, lower down to your child's pose, lowering your forehead towards your mat. Just trying to let yourself sink towards the floor. Take those good big breaths into your whole rib cage, all directions. Maybe noticing the sound of your breathing. Start to come up towards hands and knees, and then take your left foot on the outside of your left hand. However you get there, maybe you heel toe it for your dragon. If you need to come out, you can always tuck your back toes to lift your back leg, come out a little bit. Just breathe in. Maybe lift your chest. And shift your hips back. Make your way back down into your child's pose. Maybe making it a little bit more active. Kind of pressing down through your hands, sinking your hips back. Inhaling, start to draw yourself up. And bring your left foot on the outside of your, right foot, right hand outside of your dragon on this side. Just always listen to your body, never do anything that hurts. And then shift your hips back. Lower yourself back down to your child's pose. And start to come up towards hands and knees. Curl your toes under. And kind of claw with your hands. And press down, lift your hips up and back, lifting up into a down dog. So press through your hands, lift through your shoulders, like you're trying to get your ears in your armpits. Knees can be bent. You can be still and take some breaths in your down dog, or slowly paddle out your feet. Definitely breathing. Lifting your hips, trying to shift your weight back towards your feet. And slowly walk your feet to your hands, taking as many steps as you need to get there. So come into your first forward fold. Be about hip width distance, parallel. Now press down through your feet a bit. So you got some engagement in your legs. And then just try to let your whole upper body hang, be heavy. Maybe grab opposite elbow and sway side to side for some movement. Decompressing your spine. Release your elbows and then heel toe your feet apart. So at least as wide as the edges of your mat, maybe wider. Turn your toes out, ground through all four corners of both feet. And bring your palms together and slowly rise, sitting into your high squat. Really grounding through your feet. Super solid base, and trying to find some lightness in your upper body. Relax your shoulders, relax your face. And slowly make your way back to your forward fold. And get a good bend to your knees so that you can get your fingertips into the mat. Bend your right knee more, opening up with your left arm for a twist. And then just keep moving. So coming through center, both knees bent. Bend your left knee more, opening up your right arm. And then just do each side one more time. And breathe. Coming back to your forward fold. And ground into your feet. Big breath. Lift yourself halfway. Just getting that foot to butt connection. Reaching the crown of your head forward. Got that lift of your pelvic floor. And bow forward. Bend your knees, slide your sits bones down and back, lift your chest, swoop your arms out and up, sitting into your Utkatasana, chair pose. So you're grounding into all four corners of both feet. Got that lift of the pelvic floor supporting the base of your core. Breathing into your chest, your rib cage. Bring your palms together in front of your heart, big breath. And drop your left shoulder, twisting towards the right. So you let your left knee piston forward a bit, help you twist around a straight spine. Option 2, open up with your arms. And lift your chest. Exhale, press down and dive all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up. Inhaling, exhale, sits back down, chair pose. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Big breath and twist towards the left. And let your right knee move forward a bit. Maybe to help keep your spine straight, look between your toes. Option to open up with your arms for your twisted chair. One more big breath. And make your way back to your forward fold. Grounding into your feet. Big breath. Lift yourself halfway. Exhaling, bow forward. Grounding into your feet, big breath, reverse swan dive, coming up through your flat back, all the way up to standing. Exhaling, palms together in front of your heart. Big breath, start to sweep your arms out and up. And slowly bow forward, staying strong through the legs. Ground into your feet, big breath, lift yourself halfway. Exhaling, bow forward, plant your hands, step back into plank. You can always modify by lowering onto your knees or forearms. Really pressing the floor away, lifting through the back of your body. And keeping your elbows in close, slowly lower all the way to your mat. At the bottom, and untuck your toes, root down through your pubic bone, tops of the feet, so you unweight your femur bones. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Coming up into your low cobra. Really keep pressing your pubic bone down. You can press up, lift yourself up a bit. You feel okay in your low back. Exhale, gently lower down. Tuck your toes under and press yourself up and back to your down dog. So pressing through your hands, lift through your shoulders. Shifting your chest back towards your legs. Maybe look between your feet. And step your feet a bit closer together. Big breath, sweep your left leg high. Flexing your toes towards the floor. Inhaling, draw your knee towards your face. High dome your back. Exhaling, press back. So square towards the floor. And bend your knee, open your hip, turning your kneecaps away from each other, but trying to stay square through your shoulders. And draw your knee towards your face. And set your foot down wherever it lands, coming onto fingertips or fists for more height. So in a runner's lunge, and then open up towards the left. For a twisted lunge. And breathe. And exhale, bring your hand down, so hands framing your front foot. Gently lower that back knee, and untuck your toes so you can stay here in your low lunge. Or start to lift your chest, lift your arms, so really pressing down through your front foot. Engage pelvic floor. Bring your palms up, so pressing your palms together, maybe look up past your thumbs. So you got that hugging inner thigh action going on, core engagement, a little upper back bend. And bring your hands down either side of that front foot. And tuck your back toes under to lift that back knee. Plant your hands and sweep your left leg high. Coming back to your three-legged dog. And gently lower that foot. So dock your toes. Coming back to your down dog. And step your feet a bit closer together. Big breath. Sweep your right leg high. Flexing your toes towards the ground. Inhaling, draw your knee towards your face. Cat back. Exhale, presses back. Three-legged dog. And bend your knee, opening your hip. And draw your knee towards your face. Guts up towards your spine. And set your foot down wherever it lands. So coming out to fingertips or fists. And then open up towards the right. Staying high up on the ball, that back foot. Exhaling, bring your hand back down. So hands framing your foot. Gently lower your back knee. And stay low. Or lift your chest. Maybe lift your arms for your knee down crescent. And pressing down through your feet. Or your foot, that is. One more good breath. And bring your hands down either side of that front foot. Tuck your back toes to lift your back knee. Plant and sweep your right leg up and back. Three-legged dog. And gently lower your foot. Coming back to your down dog. Finding your breath. And slowly walk your feet to your hands, taking as many steps as you need to get there. Coming into your forward fold. Grounding into your feet, big breath. Lift yourself halfway position. Really pressing down through your big toes. Belly button towards your spine. Bow forward. Grounding into your feet, big breath, reverse swan dive. Coming through your flat back. All the way up to standing. Exhaling, palms down in front of your heart. Keeping some sponginess in your knees so you're not locked out. Big breath, start to sweep your arms out and up. Exhaling, slowly bow forward. So hips, and then let your spine round. Grounding into your feet. Big breath, lift yourself halfway. Exhaling, bow forward, plant your hands, and step back into plank. So option to do your cobra again, or up dog. So shifting forward onto your big toes, lower halfway, spin your fingers out, untuck your toes, lower your hips. Lift your chest, so really going for length, reaching your chest, heart forward. And when you're ready, dive your head through your shoulders, roll back to your down dog. And step your feet a bit closer together, big breath, sweep your left leg high, flexing your toes towards the floor. And start to draw your knee towards your face. This time, set your shin down, spin your back heel down. Maybe letting your left foot pop out to the side for a kickstand and open up with your right arm for a knee down side plank. It's really grounding through your base. If it feels okay, letting that top hand fall back behind you. Then bring your gaze to the mat and shift your bottom hand a little bit forward and out to the side. Press down to lift that back leg, taking your right arm alongside your ear. So finding some energy, some engagement in your foot, your hand, pressing down. You can stay here and breathe, or play with bending your top knee, reaching back for your foot. Maybe look down, kick into your hand, making sure you're using your core. And square back off towards the floor, and lift yourself up and back, coming back into your down dog. And step your feet a bit closer together. Big breath. Sweep your right leg high. And draw your knee towards your face. And gently set your shin down. Spin your back heel down. So setting up your new base. And open up with your left arm for your knee down side plank. Rising up from your base, your boots. And take your gaze to the mat. Shift your hand a little forward and out to the side. Create a wider base. Press down and lift your back leg. Taking your left arm alongside your ear. Internally rotating. So inner elbow towards your face. You can stay here and breathe. Or play with bending your top knee, reaching back with your back foot. Maybe look down. Really commit to your base. And square back off towards the floor. And tuck your back toes, lift yourself back up. Come back to your down dog. And slowly walk your feet to your hands, taking as many steps as you need to get there. Grounding into your feet. Big breath, lift yourself halfway. Exhaling, bow forward. Grounding into your feet, big breath. Reverse swan dive. Come up to your flat back, all the way up to standing. And relax your arms down at your sides. So you can have hands on your hips or hands out to your sides. Shift your weight more into your right foot. So coming onto your left toes to really plant. Big toe, pinky toe, heel, core, find your gaze. See about lifting your knee about hip height. Try to kick out. Breathing. You can rebend your left knee and then start the twist. So left hand on your sacrum for stability. Right hand to your outer knee thigh. You can stay here and breathe. Or reach your arms up, thumbs up. Making it a big shape. And square back off towards the front. And then drop your chest, shoot your leg behind you. Lowering yourself into warrior 3 or airplane. So arms out to the sides or right out in front. Trying to square your hips and shoulders towards the floor. We're finding that hollow body. Using your gaze to root you down. And slowly dock your toes side by side. Relax your arms at your sides. Coming through your mountain. Feeling into the feet. Trying to find that equal weight. Maybe some energy in your palms. Good boy, Luther. And start to shift your weight more into your left foot. So, you're not lifting your right knee about hip height. Maybe flex your foot. You can have hands out to the sides or on your hips. Right? So it's one of those doesn't look cool. Good challenge. And try to kick out. Really keep planting, right? Don't get discouraged about how high you can lift your leg. Rebend your knee. Bring your right hand to your sacrum for stability. Start in the twist. Left hand to your outer thigh. Lifting through your heart. Lift through your chest. Lift through the crown of your head. You can stay here and take a couple more breaths or open up with your arms. Thumbs up. And start to square back off towards the front. And start to kick your foot back. Drop your chest, coming into airplane or warrior 3. Trying to straighten your leg. Think about sucking your femur bone into your hip socket. Keep your hips square. And see where you go. It's okay to make mistakes. Fall over. And slowly rise up. Docking your toes, so feet side by side. Land. Alright, let's do some eagle. So get a good bend to your knees, and then wrap your left leg over your right leg. You could even have your toes on the floor. And sit down, and then opposite with the arms. So right over left, and clap. So sinking your hips, lifting your fingers. Breathe. Use your core. And finding your gaze, your drishti, your focus point. Try to soften your gaze. Maybe sink a bit lower. And press down to come out. And then we'll do the other side. Get a good bend to your knees and wrap your right leg around your left leg. You can even have your toes in the floor or, right, going for wrapping around your calf. You can have toes into the floor. And then opposite with the arms. So left over right and clap. It always gets exciting with twisting right and left situation. So trying to stack your shoulders over your hips. Knowing that balancing is not static, right? We're always finding our balance. Maybe sink a bit lower. And press down to come up. And we'll find a good wide-legged shape. So we'll take your feet wide. Okay? Take up space, turn your toes out. Get a good bend to your knees. So trying to get your knees tracking with your toes. And kind of glide side to side. Just checking out what that situation is like, right? Totally changes day to day, time of day. And find some stillness. So like you're sitting on a horse. Slight lift of your tailbone, slight lift of your chest. And then let's do those eagle arms again. So right over left and clap. Oh, and if that's a no-go for you, you can always grab your shoulders. It's doing the same thing, just spreading your shoulder blades apart. But grinding into all four corners of both feet. So yeah, your eagle arms and your goddess. Maybe close your eyes. And breathe. Inhaling, open up, giant X, starfish, and rebend, and switch your arms, left over right, and clap, about lifting your elbows up, drawing your shoulders down, maybe drop your chin slightly, finding your gaze, maybe it's super close and you're looking at your own fingers, and press down to come up. And then turn towards the left. So turn your left toes towards the back of your mat, bringing your right toes along with it, and come down to your runner's lunge. So we'll come into side angle from the bottom up. So from your runner's lunge, we'll extended side angle if you want. Runner's lunge, spin your back heel down to ground, bring your left hand on the inside, so fingertips or maybe plant, right hand to your hip, or reach back behind you for your front hip. So really press your feet apart. So your top hip rolling down, chest rolling open. Maybe look up. And if you need to come out, you totally can, right? Just lift your chest, bring in your hand or forearm to your inner knee thigh. So you got that straight line of your leg, torso. But a lot of things are hard, right? In your side angle. Try to keep weight in your back foot. And breathe. From here, just slowly press into your front foot to move towards straightening your front leg, coming into your triangle. You can keep your half bind or reach your top arm up. Might be fun to think about lifting through your fingers. So you got that lightness quality. Keep shrugging your top shoulder towards your top hip to help with that straight spine situation. Keep pressing your feet apart. And rebend your front knee, reverse your warrior. So bring your left hand up, right hand to your back thigh, or reach back for your front hip crease. Play with lifting your gaze. And come up. And we'll do the other side. So pivot again. Bring your hands down either side of that front foot. So coming into your runner's lunge. So come at it again from the bottom up. So runner's lunge, and then spin your back heel down, ground. Bring your right hand on the inside of your foot. Left hand to your hip or reach behind you for your front hip crease. Then press your feet apart. You look up. Or if you need to come out, that's cool too. So just bringing your hand or forearm to your inner knee thigh. Using that lift of your pelvic floor to assist with your other big core muscles. And press down to slowly move towards straightening your front leg. Make sure you don't lock it out. So this hand can come to your leg or inner knee. You can keep the bind or reach your top arm up. Moving towards stacking your shoulders. You have this oppositional twist going on. So hips rolling down, chests rolling open. And press your feet apart and breathe. And nothing should feel worse than looking down. Maybe you look down or up, but definitely keep sliding your shoulder towards your top hip. You think about that top hand lifting you out of that rounding down. Rebend your front knee, reverse your warrior. So press your feet apart, breathe in any space you can find, and bring your hand down. And pivot once, so finding that wide-legged, symmetrical shape again, get a good bend to your knees, and we'll just move through the squat. So squat, and then bringing your hands to the floor, or a block, or a chair to bring the floor up. And parallel out the inner edges of your feet. And I learned this recently. Apparently, I've been doing this, my hips way out in front. So try and get your hips more in line with your heels when you're doing this. Press your feet apart, you got your core engaged. Trying to find a neutral spine, so lifting your tailbone and then like someone's poking you in the solar plexus. And let's do some twisting. So you can take your right hand right under your face, left hand to your sacrum. So maybe your right hip drops down like a millimeter. Not losing any of the leg engagement, core engagement. And come through center, so re-press apart. And get your left hand under your face, right hand to your sacrum. Looking down to help you keep twisting around a straight spine. And then we'll do it one more time. So both hands down, get your right hand under your face, and then this time you can slide your left hand up your arm, across your collarbones, reaching up towards the ceiling, kind of making it a little more sexy. And come back down, re-ground, and then check out the other side. So left hand under your face, right hand, sweep it up your arm, across your collarbones, up towards the ceiling. And come back down. And pivot, and bring your hands around either side of that right foot. And step your feet side by side, coming into your forward folds. Finding your breath, maybe grabbing opposite elbow, finding a rag doll. Release your elbows, grounding into your feet. Big breath, lift yourself halfway. Exhaling, bow forward. Grounding into your feet, big breath. Reverse swan dive, coming up through your flat back. All the way up to standing. Arms overhead. Big shape. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Big breath, start to sweep your arms out and up. And slowly bow forward. Stand strong for your legs. Grounding through your feet, big breath. Lift yourself halfway. Exhaling, bow forward, plant your hands, and step back into plank. So option for one more back bend. And shift forward onto your big toes, lower halfway. Spin your fingers out, untuck your toes, lift your chest. Really pressing down through the tops of the feet. Reaching your heart forward. And roll back to your down dog. Take one more big breath in your down dog. And gently lower your knees to the mat and take your knees wide and make your way into your child's pose. Just taking a moment to let your breath settle a bit. And start to make your way up to a seat. Let's do a runner stretch. So get one foot out, one foot in. Find your sits bones. And you do it your way. So either side bending from the side or turn your torso towards your leg. Or it might be nice to just fold straight forward from your hips. So just doing something that feels right for you. And trying to not use too much leverage to get yourself anywhere. Right? Just keep using the sensations and anything else you notice to help keep you present. Slowly rise up and then just switch sides. So other foot in, other foot out. Find your sits bones. So first sitting up tall, and then folding forward your way. Might be nice to give your feet some attention, like crunching your toes or flexing your toes, crunching. Yeah. Stretching out the tops of your feet and the bottoms of your feet. Come on out. And then get your feet out in front. Find Dandasana, stick pose. Find your sits bones. Your knees might need to bend. Help you sit up nice and tall. And there are a couple ways to do this. So you can either get your feet on the floor, knees bent, and then round over, just so you get that forehead to leg connection. Letting those big muscles in your back let go if you can. Or folding forward with your legs long. But same deal, right? Do not force anything. Be gentle with yourself. Just go somewhere you can still breathe. Take 2 more breaths. Start to come up. Make sure you have your towel handy. You probably forgot about it. Go ahead and make your way down onto your back. We'll do some windshield wiper first. So get your feet on the floor about as wide as the edges of your mat. You can bring your arms out to the sides, or maybe cactus them if you wanted to get more into your armpits. And then just moving with your breath. And exhale, let your knees fall to one side. Pause. Inhaling, draw your knees up. Pause. Exhaling, let your knees go the other way. So just keep moving like that on your own. And get your head and neck involved. So just taking your gaze the opposite direction your knees are going. Just take a moment to even yourself out. And then hug your knees into your chest. You can give yourself a squeeze or rock around a bit. And then we'll set up a supine twist. So usually I do this with the knees bent, but we're going to do a different variation. Just take your soles of your feet up towards the ceiling, or legs up the wall without the wall. And bring your arms out to the sides like a T, and then just hop your hips over towards the right. And let your toes drop maybe into your hand. Maybe you grab a toe. Maybe you take your gaze towards the right. For a lying down twist with the legs long. And after your next exhale breath, you start to make your way back towards center. Readjust your hips. Take your feet back up towards the ceiling. And hop your hips over towards the left. And drop your toes towards the right. Maybe you grab a toe, maybe not. Seeing if there are any places you can soften. Start to make your way back onto your back. And we'll do some Supta Baddha Konasana like we did in the beginning, bound angle. So you can do it without a prop, right? Feet together, knees open. Or you can take your blanket or towel. And let's see. Yeah, this should work. So you just like fold your towel in half and then roll it. And then I can move this way, because now he's super on my mat. So you just put your towel roll over the tops of your ankles. thread it through. So it should help give you some support. So then you do your feet together, knees open, and then your legs should help hold it down. And then you can lie down. Your Supta Baddha Konasana, so it's hopefully helping you feel a little bit more supported, supporting the kind of vulnerable groin area. You can have your hands on your belly if you'd like. Just taking some good Buddha belly breaths. And the other trick with the blanket, go ahead and sit up. The other trick with your blanket is a good Shavasana trick. So you just put the blanket roll under the backs of your knees. So you get some support. I'll go diagonally. Yeah, and then you can just lie down. Just come into your Shavasana, your corpse pose. And let your toes fall open, gently tuck each shoulder under. And then just heading right into your Shavasana practice. Just feeling into all those points of contact between you and the floor. You can cultivate some heaviness there. And then just going through, seeing where you can let go, where you can soften. And when the mind wanders off, just gently sending it wandering through the body. It's recommended to stay in Shavasana for at least 5 minutes. And start to deepen the breath. And starting to invite life back into the body with any little movement, any stretching. And take your time to make your way all the way up and back to the seat. That's not going to work. And please bring your palms together in front of your heart. Taking a moment for gratitude towards yourself for carving out time for your practice. Gratitude for someone or something in your life. And thank you for sharing your practice and your light with me. Namaste.